Good morning, children. We are doing the chapter of circulatory system in humans. Now today from this chapter we will discuss heartbeat and cardiac cycle, pulse, blood pressure and keeping the heart healthy. Now heartbeat and cardiac cycle. Now children, you have already learned that the heart is divided into 4 chambers, auricles and ventricles, and the upper portion of the heart are auricles, left auricle and right auricle, and the lower portion of the heart are ventricles, left ventricle and right ventricle. So what is heartbeat then? So there are 4 stages of heartbeat. Now in the first stage, the auricles contract and the blood flows, both the auricles, left auricle and the right auricle, both the auricles contract and the blood flows into both the ventricles, left ventricle and right ventricle. Then in a fraction of second later, the ventricles contract, pushing the blood into pulmonary artery and aorta. So pulmonary artery will receive the blood from right ventricle, which will carry impure blood, and the aorta will receive pure blood from the left ventricle. Then in the third stage, the auricles contract, okay, and the blood flows into them from pulmonary veins and venae cavae. Then in the last stage, when the auricles get contract, or when the auricles they get contract, then the ventricles also get emptied, okay, and the whole heart get relaxed. So the contraction and the relaxation of the heart muscles produces a throbbing sound, and that sound is called heartbeat. Alright, now comes cardiac cycle. Now it is the performance of the human heart from the ending of the heartbeat to the beginning of the next, which means the sequence of event which takes place during one complete heartbeat is called cardiac cycle. So the cardiac cycle involves the contraction and the relaxation of the heart muscles, and there are 2 terms, systole and diastole. So the contraction of the heart muscle is called systole, S-Y-S-T-O-L-E. Contraction of the heart muscle is called systole, and the relaxation of the heart muscle is called diastole. So cardiac cycle involves the contraction and the relaxation of the heart muscles, means it involves systole and diastole. So one complete cardiac cycle or one complete heartbeat consists of 1 systole and 1 diastole, and it lasts for about 8 seconds. It happens very fast, and the doctor they uses a device or an instrument to listen to the heartbeat, and that is called stethoscope. Then the heart on an average beats 72 times per minute, which means in 1 minute your heart beats for 72 times. Right? Then comes pulse. Now what is pulse? Your pulse is the rate at which your heart beats. So your pulse is actually called the heart rate, which is the number of times your heart beats each minute. So when the left ventricle contracts, the blood flows into the arteries under high pressure. So the walls of the arteries, they stretched with this pressure, okay? So the stretching and relaxing of the arteries with each heartbeat is felt as a throbbing called pulse. So it is easy to check the pulse near the neck, right here, or you can check your pulse at the wrist, at the base of your thumb. Then comes blood pressure. Now what is blood pressure? Blood pressure, it is the force of blood pushing against the walls of arteries. So each time your heart beats, it pumps the blood into the arteries. Now since the contraction of the heart muscle is termed as systole and the relaxation of the heart muscle is termed as diastole. So there are two limits of blood pressure. One is called systolic pressure. One is called systolic pressure and the other one is called diastolic pressure. So what is systolic and diastolic pressure? Now systolic pressure, it is the pressure produced in the ventricles when they contract and they pump blood into the aorta and the pulmonary artery. That is systolic pressure. And diastolic pressure, it is the pressure produced when the ventricles get filled with the blood from the auricles. And the normal blood pressure in an adult is considered as 120 by 80 mm of mercury, and it varies from person to person. So the blood pressure is measured with an instrument or a device, and that instrument is called sphygmomanometer. And so what is this instrument looks like actually? It consists of an inflatable rubber cuff which is applied to the arm and connected to the column of the mercury next to the graduated scale. Excuse me. Okay, now children, we are going to discuss keeping the heart healthy, how to keep our heart healthy. Now we can keep our heart healthy by doing exercises regularly and by eating healthy foods. So what happens when we exercise regularly? Now by exercising regularly, it will reduce the risk of heart diseases and it maintains our blood pressure. Then swimming and hiking, they are the best exercise for our heart. Then you can also take a brisk walk for half an hour every day. It will burn your fat and it will maintain our body weight. Then we can climb stairs as much as possible because it will burn our calories and keeping us healthy. So we must avoid lift or escalators. Then now, what are the healthy foods? Now, eat more fruits, green vegetables, grains and other high fiber diets. And we must limit the use of salt in our diet, and we must not eat junk food, then avoid fried food as far as possible. Then drink enough of clean drinking water. Then we must maintain our body weight as per our age. So now children, we have finished the chapter of circulatory system in humans. So thank you children.